wrong? And what made you decide to write this book?
We're doing so many things wrong. Let me start with that. But I have to start with that. Every single book that I've ever written has been inspired by my own personal journey and my own personal experiences. And so, how to attract the right man into your life, let's not forget the subtitle, No More Settling, was sparked through my own struggles finding Mr. Right. And I remember, I want to share a quick story with you. I was in a relationship with a guy, and I thought I was going to marry this guy. And the crazy thing is, we were together about 5 years, and then, you know, at times in relationships, sometimes one person's more into the other person.
Right.
So we were never feeling the same at the same time.
Exactly, the chemistry.
And so, how many of you out there has ever had your heart broken? At least once,
Yes,
right? So I would say that was the one that broke my heart.
Okay.
And when I was ready to get serious with him, he wasn't ready to get serious with me. And so I share this story because I just knew that that was my Mr. Right. And I'll never forget my best friend, who is now, ladies, my husband.
All right,
And it's not the
okay.
guy that broke my heart, by the way.
Okay. All right.
Well, one day we were out having dinner, and I said I was going to make a commitment to myself to emotionally detach myself from this other guy. And you know what? How many times, ladies, have we felt like we're not in a relationship with somebody? We say we're broken up with this person, we're not together, but your emotions is still tied to this person.
Well, that's because you still like them, or
Right.
you're still in love with them.
And even
that's
though
the problem.
right, but
And
even,
I think it's okay to still be in love with that person, even though they don't love you. It's just that I think you have to decide whether you want to move on or you want to continue to, you know, moan and greed and think he's coming back or whatever. I think that's what happens a lot of time.
well, yeah. Being in love with somebody and loving somebody is two different things.
it's
So
two
you can
different
still
things.
love the person, but you need to move on and not be
Exactly.
in love with the person if the person's
Exactly.
not in love with you.
Right.
So what happened was that was a person in my life that I thought I would be with, and he wasn't the person that I ended up with. But I detached myself emotionally so that I could attract the right man. And that's really what I was leading up to. I had to let him go so that I could attract the person that was meant for me.
But look, you have so much in this book. It's just too much to talk about. But there's so many do's and don't. But we just go over a few of what us women do wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Do be yourself at all times.
Absolutely. Self-acceptance. That's a big one that I talk about. You have to first love yourself before you can even seek love or attract love, because that's where it really starts. You have to value yourself and feel that you're even worthy to receive that type of love. So it starts with self-love.
Stay focused on what you want and what you want to make you happy.
Exactly. One of the things I talk about in the book is when you decide to get into a relationship with someone, that does not mean you have to lose yourself, lose who you are. Be true to yourself. You can still be who you are. I'm not saying that when you meet someone, you're not supposed to grow together and elevate, because there are some things that you may need to change and make more positive.
Do you think that happened because the women are trying to, because that's the man that they want to get in a relationship with, so they're trying to satisfy him by, you know, not doing some of the things that you want to do, but just do everything that they want to do just to make them happy, but you're miserable in the relationship?
Yes, I've seen it so many times. Women become what that man wants them to be, or men become what that woman wants them to be.
Now, this is a good one. Do pay attention to every word that comes out of his mouth. Because you know most of the time they lie.
That's right. Well, one of the things I talk about is always pay attention to how a man treats his mom, his family, and his children. Because that's going to be a good indication of how he's going to treat you. It's how he treats the people in his life that's close to him. So that's one of the things I talk about.
Well, you know, that's always a good way. Especially, I always watch that mother stuff too. How they treat their mother. Like, because, you know, that's one of the first things I want is like, okay, when is I'm going to meet your mother? Or when is I'm going to meet your family? Because you find out a lot from the mother and through the family, because there's always somebody in the family going to tell everything about that person or whatever. But how they treat their mother.
That's true,
It's
because you know what
crucial.
happens? The representative always shows up when you first meet somebody, meaning
Exactly.
like you don't know who this person really is, but they're going to put their best foot forward
Hey,
until down the line you start to see the true colors
they
come out.
come out.
That's right.
Do be upfront about where you are in life and what you want.
That's right. Be upfront. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with this other person. Stop the games, people. I mean, this whole thing with playing games. Be real. Be honest. Be upfront. Tell the truth. Tell the person what you want. A lot of time you'll see, and goes on both sides. So I'm not going to say it's just women, but men too. The man will say to the woman, "I'm not looking for anything serious. I just got out of a relationship," and they think if they give this man a booty call, that's going to change his mind.
Exactly.
Ladies, it does not
work
work.
that way. This way.
Stop
Look.
doing the booty calls,
Yeah.
okay? Stop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Are you talking about the booty call after you break up, or the booty calls during the time you go
I'm
with the
talking about
person?
booty calls. I'm talking about the booty calls before you get serious in the relationship.
Oh,
When a
okay.
man
Don't
is
give,
telling you,
well, that's with the
right,
cookie
like
jar.
no,
That's the cookie
right,
jar.
because a
Don't give the
woman
cookie
thinks
away
that
too quick.
if the man, if they can change their mind somehow by sleeping with him or getting intimate with him. And you know, one of the other important things I talk about is we all need to be more aware. If you're single, you're not in a relationship, you have to be aware of who you're getting intimate with,
Exactly.
because a lot of times when you're getting intimate with somebody, you're pulling this person's energy, and people don't take it seriously. They're just like, I gotta satisfy my needs. I gotta do what I need to do. But you could be pulling a whole lot of negative energy from this person just by having sex with this person. So you have to really think about who you're allowing to become intimate.
Well, now, how long do you think that we should wait before we have sex with the person? Do you think we should wait till we see that we're going to really have a relationship with them, or, maybe give them a month or so or something?
I don't want to say an exact time. I think you should be friends with the person first and not get tied emotionally. What happens is it's better to wait longer, whether it's 6 months, a year, whatever, 3 months, 90 days, I don't know, whatever your gauge is. But I say wait as long as you can, or as long as you can hold out.
No, I truly believe in that, because I
Because
don't think you should jump right away either. Because first of all, I would think I would want to know, am I really going to have a relationship with this person? Or is this just going to be a fly by night? Because those things happen sometimes. You
Absolutely.
meet somebody and you may talk a couple of weeks or whatever, and something go wrong, and you're not in a relationship with that person anymore. And then, sometimes you beat and gave up the cookie, and now
Realize
once
it's
you
too
get,
late.
once you, because see,
why did I give up the cookies?
No, you know what? I don't know. I feel that when you, now, not everybody now, because some people can sleep with people and it don't mean anything to them.
Men and women.
I can't
Men
do
and
that.
women.
You
both
have
sides.
to mean something to me before
Right.
I'm willing to go all the way. Because I get emotional. Because see, when I fall in love, I'm in love.
Right. And that's
And
why
see,
I say
once
wait.
you do the cookie thing, and that emotion gets in there, that's where you're trapped. Because
You hit
now you are like in, and when something happened, that's why you are destroyed when
You
something
hit
happens.
it on the nail
know.
right there. When you wait to have sex with someone, now you are not emotionally engaged in this
Exactly.
situation. So that's why it is better to wait to find out, is this the right person for me? Is this person worthy of me even letting them be intimate with me to begin with?
And I know even though you can wait sometime and it still doesn't work out. I mean, you
Right.
can sometimes wait 6 months and it still doesn't work out. I just feel if I waited and I kind of find out a little more about you, not that I'm going to ever learn everything about you, because people have been married for years and still don't know that
That's true.
person.
That's true. They're married to
They
a
come out-
stranger, right?
Exactly. They come out in the world like, who are you? And that's what. But so what I'm saying is, at least I don't feel as bad because I did wait rather than jumping and then something happened. Because if I do it right away and something happened, then I'm not emotionally attached.
Exactly.
So it don't hurt me as bad.
That's
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt me.
exactly what I'm
because
saying.
I'd be like, good riddance, and let's keep it
course.
moving.
Of course.
So that's why I think if I see that person, if I meet that, because, I think sometimes, well, not I think, this is just my philosophy, that when you meet somebody and you talk to them, even if you talk to them for about an hour or half an hour, you kind of have a sense is this somebody that I really want to take this further? Because there's something about the chemistry. When you meet someone and the chemistry is good, that means a lot to me. Like when I meet someone and we hit it off right away, we can laugh and talk, just like we've been knowing each other for years. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? That means something to me because I'm saying,
Yeah, you have
I
to.
might,
You have to
I
listen.
think I
One of
might
the
want to
things
take
is
this further.
exactly. One of the other things is to pay attention to what this person is saying. Sometimes we feel like we have to say so much about ourselves,
Exactly.
and it's better to not say so much and to just
Right.
listen, because like you said, you could be having a conversation with somebody even before it gets to the point where you're actually going on a date with this person, and you can pretty much pick up a lot about this person in a conversation if you're listening,
Yes.
not if you're talking. So that's one of the most important things too, is to become more aware.
And then we're gonna touch on the don'ts.
The
Don't
don'ts,
tell
a
him
lot
how
of
you
don'ts.
feel about him too soon.
Yes, because some men, and I'm not going to say all, and let me just clarify, I'm not just talking about men, I'm talking about women too, because it's two sides to every
Every
coin.
story, right.
It's,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, it's both
So,
on both
but
sides.
both sides. But sometimes, you know, someone will say, you know, I don't want to get serious, or I don't want to get too deeply involved, and you have to be aware and pay attention to those things, and
But if they tell you they don't, but don't you appreciate it better if you talking to the man and he lets you know up front he ain't looking for no serious relationship? I think I would appreciate better.
Of course.
Because at least now I know where you coming from, so it ain't no sense
Right.
in me wasting my time. But I may still want to talk to you, you know, in maybe in a friendship way or something like that. Because if I'm looking for someone to be in a relationship
You need to
with,
make that verbal.
exactly, then I don't need to be wasting time for
Right.
someone telling me I am not looking for no
I'm not available.
Exactly,
Exactly.
for a serious relationship. I can give them respect for that. You know, because sometimes people get upset and say, well, you know, they shouldn't have said that or whatever, you know, like that. Well, anyway, we got more to talk about, but
We
we're going to take
sure
a quick
do.
we're going to take a quick break, and we coming back with Miss Georgia Woodbine, because how to attract the right man in your life. We'll be right back.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
Na 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 na. I love you so. I love you. I love you. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and you're watching Keeping It Real with Shannon. Shannon can be seen every Saturday at 5:30 p.m. on Brooklyn Public Network and Manhattan Neighborhood Network at 2:30 p.m. You can check your local listings for the channels. Let's keep it real and watch the show.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
I am Georgia Woodbine, author of How to Attract the Right Man into Your Life, No More Settling. And you're watching Keeping It Real with Shannon.
It's Shannon. We're chasing the easy life.
We're back with Miss Georgia Woodbine, her book, How to Attract the Right Man in Your Life. Wow. That was a lot of attraction the last few minutes that we were talking. But there's another important thing that you had in the book. Become friends first. Now, I definitely agree with that you should become friends first.
That's crucial. How many people do you know is married to somebody else's soulmate? There's a lot of people out there. And when you don't become friends first, you don't figure out what are some of the things that we both enjoy together.
Exactly.
What are some of the things you see people, they have kids, they live life, and then their kids go away to college, and then they realize that I don't even like you. I love you, but I just don't like you.
Because you really don't know that much about the person. This is what I'm saying, you know.
So it's important to figure out in the beginning, do I enjoy spending time with this person? How does this person make me feel? How, do we like doing the same things? Does this person, I like to travel. Does this person like to travel? I like going to concerts. Does this person I like music? Find out what your likes are. Find out if you have things in common, because the friendship is what's going to keep the foundation of the relationship.
Exactly. And you know that you're becoming friends with each other, or that you are friends with each other by the way you act and treat each other. Because it would be just like you would treat one of your regular, normal friends.
Right. You can be yourself.
That's what I was trying to say. You can be yourself. They don't get upset. You can say things to them. Because I feel like if I'm with someone, why I have to walk on pins and needles scared to say anything to you? If your head too big, why I can't tell you your head too big? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was just like I was telling them before we came on the show, like if something is wrong.
And they're oversensitive.
You got friends that you be with all the time.
Yes.
And if something, your slip could be hanging.
Right.
Not that we wear slips anymore, right? You see how far back I am, right? But your hair could be standing up on top and nobody says anything.
Right. You should be able to be yourself and say what you feel and not feel intimidated or feel like, is this person going to judge me because I can't be funny? I can't do this. I can't do that. Like you said, you want to be comfortable.
If you see something about the person that you think they can change to make themselves better, then why would you get upset if they told you that?
As long as you say it in a diplomatic way. You don't want to make them feel bad.
No, not say it with like it's insulting or something. Like they would, they was teasing me when I said about gaining weight and stuff like that. When I said when I was married to my husband, when I started gaining the weight, he was like, you starting to put on. I didn't get upset about it.
Right.
Because in my mind, I wasn't thinking about that I was putting on weight. I'm too busy, doing other things. So sometimes you're not conscious of what is happening to you until it actually take a hold of you.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with that, because I figure this is my spouse should tell me. Because if something wrong with him, I'm gonna tell him.
Yeah, it should be honesty.
And that's the kind of close relationship I think you should have if you planning on taking it to the next step.
Absolutely.
Because then if you can't feel free to talk to each other, then what is the point?
Yeah. There is none.
If I'm upset and crying and I can't tell you what's bothering me.
Yeah.
Without you feeling bad
offended
about, you know what I'm saying? So what is the point?
Right. You have to be friends.
I don't want to be with someone that I have to walk on pins and needles and too scared to say anything to them. And that's what happened a lot of time, because and then that's how you learn about the person, because you have to learn if they're sensitive or if they're easily insulted, and then that way you know
who you're dealing with.
Exactly. You know who you're dealing with at that time,
Definitely.
But now that's definitely, don't seek, attract.
That's a big one. See, everything, and I've written several books, and I would say the common denominator, or what ties them all together, is really about attracting. You know what I mean? Everything. Attracting the right man, attracting the right job, attracting whatever it is into your life. But operating in the level of attraction and not trying to seek. Because what happens is when you're operating, which is also operating by the power of intention, when you're operating at that level, you realize that you can allow things to flow to you easily without trying to chase it all the time. And I think in life, a lot of times when it comes to relationships, people are afraid to be alone. And being alone is the best thing that could ever happen to you, because as I mentioned, I was dating that guy and then we broke up and I was by myself and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm all alone. I'm never going to get married.
See? That's why you wasn't attracted, because you home sitting there moping and carrying on.
Exactly. And then I said, stop it right now. Get over it, dry those tears, and get over it and move on. And once I did that, I was single for about 10 years. And when I say that was the best time of my life, because I got to know who I am.
Yeah.
I got to love who I am.
Exactly.
I would go to the movies by myself. I would go sit down and have dinner. You know, sometimes people looking at you,
Exactly.
oh, is somebody coming? No, nobody's
you
coming.
by yourself,
I'm
right.
by myself, me, myself, and I.
But I think it's women, and I'm sure there's men is that way too. First of all, we got to know that it's okay to be by yourself.
It's okay.
There's nothing wrong with being by yourself. When you get older, you don't understand that sometimes you need to check yourself. You need to work on yourself to see what the problem is. Maybe you got too much baggage.
Right.
And maybe you talk too much and be
Right.
telling too much of your
Or maybe
business.
I'm the reason why the man is not staying.
But I'm saying,
yeah,
sometimes when
people
you,
need to
just
do a
like we were
reality
saying
check.
before, like, you don't tell all your business to the man when you first meet them. You don't
Right.
tell them everything about you
Right.
and what you want and, I have this, I got my own car, my own house.
Right.
Who wants to hear all of that? I
Right.
don't even want them to know that I have that.
Exactly.
I don't want them to know I have a house. I don't want them to know that I have a car.
Thank you.
Because how do I know? Maybe they want to talk to me because they want to move in my house
Thank
or
you.
something. Or ride in my car or something like that.
Thank you.
No. We have time to find out what each person
That's
has
right.
slowly talking. Because you're going to
When
find
it's
out all of that
time,
stuff
when the
anyway.
time is right.
Exactly, because you're going to find out anyway. Because now, after a certain period of talking to you, maybe we've been talking for like a month or whatever,
Right.
and you haven't invited me over to your house. Now I might start thinking like, what's going on at your house that you don't want me to come to your house, but you want to come to my house. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It could be somebody else living in the house. It could be that. That's why a lot
well,
of
that's
times
true too. But
men,
I'm saying,
right.
you still need to go check things out,
Right.
Because there may be a wife and some children living over
That's
there,
what-
and you don't know about.
Exactly. That's what I was getting
You
at.
always have to be a detective
Yes.
and find out what's going on.
Right.
You have to find out what's going on.
Yes.
So in a relationship, I think we need to know about each person. They need
Right.
to find out stuff about you. You need to find out stuff about
Exactly.
them.
Before you start getting intimate and start taking it to the next level,
Exactly.
you want to find out the background of the person first. Find out their characteristics. Find out what, who this person, who they are, and the type of person that they surround themselves with, because that's also important.
Well, you know what, Georgia, this has been good, and I want to thank you for coming in and joining me today and giving us some tips, do's and don'ts. I think once you know who you are, then you decide what you're looking for. Finding
right.
love is hard, but eventually it comes.
It comes.
He may be right in front of you. That's what they say, right?
That's
in
what
front
happened
of
to
you.
me. My
Right
best
in front of you.
friend is now my
Right
husband.
in front of you.
So
And,
it's true.
And we just have to stay positive. We have to stay positive because it doesn't mean that you're not going to meet someone. You could have been by yourself, for, like you said, for 10 years and all of a sudden, boom. Because I feel when the time is right.
If you're ready. I think when you're ready, you will attract it. A lot of times people are not ready. They say they are, but they're really not ready. But once you make that decision, say, yes, I'm ready to meet somebody, and you really mean it.
Is that
you will
ready
attract
because you
it.
have got rid of all your baggage and stuff? Then you ready now because
You're
now
ready.
you done went through the do's and don'ts?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank
Absolutely.
you again.
Thank
for
you.
coming on, joining
and
me.
I just want to let everyone know if they want to get information, they can go to my website, www.georgiawoodbine.com. Make sure you go to the contact page and you can subscribe, and I will send you emails on tidbits, tips, and all the other good
We'll
stuff.
give them all that good information.
Sure.
So thank you again for joining me.
Thank you, my
Stay
dear.
blessed.
You too.
Stay strong.
Thank you so much.
And as always, we'll see you next time.
It's Shannon, keeping it real. It's Shannon, it's Shannon, it's Shannon, keeping it real. It's Shannon. It's Shannon, it's Shannon.